Hello, hello, everyone. How are you all? Hello. Many of you might know that this session is about immigration because with the upcoming Trump administration, many people are super panicked. So we are conducting this live session with Somireddy Law Group. Mr. Santosh Somireddy garu, who is the founder and owner and attorney at Somireddy Law Group, is going to join us in a minute. So he will be addressing a lot of immigration related questions, right from H4EAD, F1 related questions, birthright citizenship, whatnot. We're going to talk about everything. Just stay tuned, and even you can ask your questions in the comments. If there is a possibility, we're going to address them as well. So we made a pool of questions which will be super helpful for each and every one of you. Just listen to it. um, if you feel like we are not addressing those questions, put those questions in the question section or comment section. We'll definitely address them. I am adding Somireddy Law Group now. So I just sent a request, Santosh Garu. If you are watching it, please accept the request so that you can join the live. I'm repeating again. So this session is all about immigration with the upcoming Trump administration. Many people have a lot of questions, and people are getting panic uh, with a lot of speculations uh, circulating in the market. So let's see the take of Santosh Garu, because we tried from our end to understand how it will be. So let's hear it from immigration attorney. Santosh Garu, please try to send requests from your side, just in case if you're unable to accept mine. Hello. Hello, Santosh Garu. How are you?
We're doing good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Happy
I'm good.
Sunday.
Thank you. You too. Thank you for taking your time on Sunday.
No
Yeah,
problem.
yeah. Many people are getting panicked because of the upcoming Trump's administration, because most people know how it was in his first term. So a lot of people have a lot of questions, right from students to I-140 holders, H4EAD spouses, whatnot. Everyone have a lot of questions. I would like to go deep dive through them, and I definitely need your expertise in it. And before that, I would like to give a small intro about you. Hello, everyone. We have been long association with Somireddy Law Group for a while. We have been doing multiple live sessions, webinars, and lot of different things that we can bring value to the public. So here with us, Santosh Somireddy Garu. He's the founding attorney at Somireddy Law Group, and it, along with his immigration practice, before that he is also an immigrant just like us. He's a civil engineer. He graduated here in US. He got his professional license too. Thereafter he felt like switching to practice, so he moved to he started his practice in immigration, and they are serving the entire 50 states of United States in immigration. And they also have different expertises like real estate, family law, criminal law, traffic. They are into everything. So it's a pleasure having Santosh Garu with us. Let's do some deep dive into the subject. Before I start, I'll ask Santosh Garu to give some intro about him. I might miss something.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the introduction, Ravi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Santosh Somireddy. I'm the founder of Somireddy Law Group. We are a full service law firm with offices in Virginia, New Jersey, North Carolina, and we just started an office in California and India. Our core areas of practice include immigration, litigation, corporate law, employment, family, and criminal law matters. So we practice immigration in all 50 states, and I'm currently licensed in 14 states and the federal court. So we practice litigation, employment, family, criminal law matters in all these remaining states too. So before we get into the topic, right? So anything that we discuss here should be construed as a friendly advice. This does not create an attorney-client relationship. Okay. So if you have any specific questions, please make sure not to use a pseudonym or not to mention provide any confidential information, because this is not protected by the attorney-client privilege. Okay. So typically, anytime you discuss anything with an attorney, it's protected by the attorney-client privilege, wherein somebody cannot access this information. But here, it's a public forum, and there's no attorney-client privilege here. So please be very careful when discussing your specific case. Okay, and I see a lot of people are scared in some way or the other with the new administration that is going to take office from Jan 20th or maybe 21st, one of these
Right.
days, right? So, as you all know, President-elect Trump will be taking office in January 2025. That too with the majority in both House and the Senate.
Right.
Further, six of the nine Supreme Court judges are appointed by the Republican Party. Okay, so I would consider it as more conservative, right? Also, now President-elect Trump would be having a great opportunity to appoint more federal court judges too. And once these judges are appointed, they are for lifetime.
Right.
Right? No other president can come back and say that, hey, we can remove you. That's not easily possible. Okay, so the Trump administration would have a great power, like a lot of power in drafting new legislation, getting them approved, passing them through the House and Senate, and also implementing them, and along with getting a favorable judicial review, because they pretty much have the whole control. Okay. With that said, I don't want any one of you to be panicked. Okay, because US is a country of immigrants. Okay, and I highly believe that this administration would not do anything that will affect the businesses, right? Because it's a pro-business administration, and they will not take any steps that will overall affect the financial health and well-being of the country. Okay, so the country needs immigrants. There's no question about it. All they want to make sure is that everybody follows the law. Okay. So, and I'm sure, like President-elect Trump has, as you all know, he made a lot of election promises.
Right.
So, some of them include protecting, building strong borders. Okay, which I'm pretty sure like he will continue to do. The next one is mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. So when I say undocumented immigrants, this not only includes those who enter US illegally, but also those who have been out of status.
Right.
Right? But they will not go after everybody at once because there are over 10 million undocumented immigrants. Right? They will be facing this out, and they will probably go after those who could be a threat to the national security
Mhm.
or threat to the community.
Right.
So if there is an undocumented person, or if there is somebody who is out of status and they get involved in any sort of criminal activity, right? They are prone for deportation.
Mhm.
Okay, especially as you all know, Tom Harmon will be taking over office
Right.
now, right?
Right.
And he will be the head of ICE.
Mhm.
So he wants to make sure that everybody follows the law, and and make sure like nobody takes things for granted.
Mhm.
Okay, and of course, Trump has also mentioned about ending the birthright right
Right.
citizenship, right? But
And many
uh,
speculations are going around it because he mentioned that it's for only illegal people, but speculations are like only
yes,
green card and
anyone
citizens
who
will get
is
it.
yeah. So typically, like as per the 14th Amendment, right? It's a constitutional amendment,
Right.
right? It's constitutional protection that you have. Anyone who is either naturalized or born in the US will become a US citizen, right? So what Trump is saying is that anyone who is staying here illegally,
Mhm.
right, and if they have a child, then they will not be eligible for automatic birth citizenship.
Right.
Right. And if somebody's on H1B or F1, if they have a kid, I don't think there should be a problem. I know there are some news circulating that, hey, the person has to be, like, the parents have to be either green card holders or citizens, right? But I don't think that will happen. Okay. So as long as parents are legally present in the US, the children would receive citizenship at birth.
Perfect. And both the parents should be legally present, right?
Well, at least one of the parent has to be like, so it
Mhm.
again it we don't know how they will be drafting the regulations,
Mhm.
but based on like, because even if at least one of the parent is legally in the
Mhm.
US,
Mhm.
they should apply.
They should.
Yeah, because in general also, right, if one of the parents is a US citizen,
Mhm.
then they get all the perks
Mhm.
that they would receive if both the parents were to be US citizens too. Same thing,
Understood.
right? And most of the countries adopt the same regulation.
Understood. So coming to birthright citizenship, it's clear that only illegal
Yeah,
immigrants
so
will
they
get
pretty much
affected.
try this,
Yeah.
yeah, fruit of a poisonous tree,
Right. Right.
right?
Right.
So,
Right.
so if they think that, hey, the person should not, like, this all happened because somebody violated their
Right.
status, right?
Right.
Just because the parents entered here illegally by violating the status, they are like violating the immigration rules. They
Right.
are able to get citizenship for their children, right? So that's what the administration wants to cut off.
Perfect. Perfect. And
Okay,
before
but this
we,
is not an easy task.
yes.
Again, as I mentioned, right?
Right.
Because now you're actually like, you have to amend the constitution itself.
Mhm.
Okay, but as I mentioned earlier, since they have both House, Senate,
Mhm.
and also like pretty much everything is under like how they have majority in pretty much everything now.
Right.
So
Right.
there is a
Right.
small chance,
Mhm.
but again, it meant it would not affect those who are legally present in the US.
Right.
Okay, because and also with deportation, right, they will be weighing different things before they start deporting anyone or stop anyone from entering into the country, because they want to make sure they protect the financial well-being of the country.
Right.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
So,
before heading to next question, I have a small thing.
mhm.
I'm seeing a lot of people commenting here. Just in case if we miss to address, send your question in detail to info@somireddylaw.com. Info@somireddylaw.com. Depending upon the complexity of case, if at all something, it's a quick reply. They're gonna give you a response without any consultation. But if at all it needs consultation, then you have to go through the process and have a attorney-client relationship. Because I don't want you guys to put all your details in the public forum. Instead, have that conversation private. Okay. Yeah, Santosh. And one more thing is, Trump gave a revolutionary statement that all the students who are going to graduate will be getting a green card stapled. Like he mentioned that if my administration comes, I'm going to do that in a podcast with venture capitalists when they are talking about talent from immigrants. So, how it is going to be executed for real? Are there chances? Are there any restrictions? Do you have anything that you are assuming in regards to it?
Yeah, yeah. There is a high chance that Trump administration might come up with an immigration reform bill, okay,
Mm-hmm.
which will address most of these issues,
Mm-hmm.
because they do want to protect the talent pool in the country, especially those who have a master's degree or higher degree, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is how the country becomes strong and stays strong,
Right.
right? So as you can see, like a lot of immigrants who are like even talented people, they have been leaving the country,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they're not able to get their green cards and all that stuff. At the same time, those who have actually entered the US without authorization and all are able to get their green cards,
Right.
right? So now the Trump administration wants to um, actually incentivize those who have certain skill sets or degrees in certain fields of study. Okay, this may not apply to everybody, but I guess they will be more like maybe like something they may have some other categories like EB1A,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe there is a good chance that they might expand on EB1A category and whatever to make it easy for people who are with with who have more skill
Right.
and
Like
education to
publications,
get their green
journals.
cards. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Because again, there are only certain number of visas available that they can allocate every year, and even in that one, the per country limit also applies.
Right. Right.
Okay. So I'm assuming that they will probably allow these individuals to apply to somehow get their at least an immigrant visa petition, like I-140 approved or so.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then also provide some path for them to apply for adjustment of status
Mm-hmm.
while they are waiting to get their visa bulletin to become current.
Understood.
All right. And then also there is a good chance that they may reallocate the number of visas, like number of green card visas,
Mm-hmm.
that's immigrant
Right.
visas, between the various categories of employment, family, and diversity visas, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as President-elect Trump has mentioned, he
Mm-hmm.
wants to get rid of the diversity-based visas
Mm-hmm.
and also cut down on the
Mm-hmm.
family-based, right?
Right.
Instead, incentivize those who have more skill, like more, so incentivize the employment-based category.
Right. Right.
Okay, but again, we nobody knows what's going to happen.
Right.
Please do not take this as a legal advice, and this is all my analysis based on the information that uh, that we receive through online resources
Right.
or
Right.
podcast or any interviews.
Right. Right.
Right. So um, should I say?
Coming to borders, a lot of people have a lot of questions, especially even people who are on I-140 want to travel to India or who want to do out of country vacations. Everyone is going now and everyone want to get into the country before January 20. People are rushing to do that. Is, do we need to be that
Please,
specific?
please do not panic.
Okay.
Okay. the fact that a person has approved I-140 and they're maintaining their H-1B status, I don't think those people should not have any issues.
Okay.
Okay. There might be more site visits to make sure that everybody is following the rules, nobody is violating the rules, and also they might make it a little stricter to get the H-1B approvals, right? Or maybe which could be in the form of increasing the wage levels, right? As they did it during the first term, right? Remember at that time we used to receive a lot of RFEs regarding the specialty occupation level 1 wages, right? So they just want to make sure everybody follows the law, right? And the way they interpret the regulation might change, and they might be a little more stricter. But that does not mean that everybody gets affected with that. As long as you have a proper job, as long as you're maintaining your status, I don't see any problem. Okay. So if a person is on H-1B, and as long as you have a proper job and you're not been violating your status, and I see a lot of and as long as you don't get into any criminal activities, right, including DUI or any, especially shoplifting cases. Okay. And also, please do not apply for any public benefit. Okay. Especially, I have been seeing a lot of we never know how they're going to define the public benefit, right? So, for example, I see a lot of students, right? So when they are charged with a crime, they go to a court, they ask for a public defender, because since their income level is low, they may be getting a public defender, but that's like you're taking a benefit out of the public.
Oh, even they cannot take that kind of help.
I'm not recommending. See, right now there is no restriction on that one, but you never know. That's why I'm asking everybody to stop taking the public benefit that you did not earn. Like for example, if you're applying for medical insurance, if your employer is providing it, or if your college is providing, if you're buying it outside, that's perfectly fine. But do not apply for like Medicaid and all those things.
Understood.
Okay, try to avoid as much as possible.
Got it. And how it is going to be for the students, especially during Trump's previous term, it was super tight for students. Probably 20% of current students were coming during that period. So how it is going to be now?
I don't believe that there will be any changes when it comes to issuing visas, right? So visas will be issued, but I'm afraid that they may be doing more scrutiny at the CBP level. When they're trying to enter the country, they want to make sure that the student is actually coming to study here and not to work or engage in any other activity.
Understood.
Okay. So I highly recommend that none of the students should be working off campus without authorization, because that's going to be a problem. The second thing is you need to clearly be able to document how you received the money for your education.
Right.
Because these days we have been seeing a lot of RFEs where they ask, hey, show us documentation to prove that so-and-so person who is sponsoring you has actually paid for your tuition and residence in the US. Right? And they will also ask for bank statements to see that you did not actually work without authorization and deposit money into your account. Okay. So they might be strict on these things, but as long as you are actually maintaining your student status by attending classes and then getting the proper grades, and not working without authorization, not getting involved in any criminal activity, you should be fine.
Understood.
Because they do need students like you.
Right.
Okay. They need the brightest people in the world. Right. So it's not like they are trying to stop you from entering into the country or settling here, but they want to make sure that everybody follows the law.
The kind of screening.
Yeah, just a screening. Okay. And also, please be very careful, especially students. In the recent past, what's happening is a lot of students are getting involved in various criminal activities or even DUI. Right. So whenever something like this happens, there's a high chance if a person gets arrested, even if they're not convicted, their visa could be revoked. And a lot of times, the individuals may not even know that their visa has been revoked until they try to use it to enter into the country. And that's when they realize That's when they realize the visa has been revoked a few days ago, or and they never received information regarding that, or maybe they did not check it, whatever reason.
Understood.
Okay. So before you travel into the United States, I highly recommend that you go back and check the status of your visa application by going onto the website of the embassy that has issued you the visa that you're using. Okay. Please do that anytime you have any doubt or anytime you've been charged with any sort of criminal, charged with any criminal activity. When I say criminal activity, it also involves traffic related of not like just speeding, but sometimes it could be reckless where the person gets arrested, or usually it's DUI or DWI.
Understood. So if they clear their DUI or if they clear their shoplifting case,
even if they clear their shoplifting case, the visa is still revoked, but they have to go for visa stamping again. So I'll give a small example. Assume that somebody is charged with shoplifting. Okay, they charged and then they realize that hey, it's a mistake and they dismiss the case. Still, their visa could be revoked and they would have to go for stamping.
Understood.
And a lot of people get confused between dismissal for the immigration rules versus dismissal for the criminal law, right? So usually, if you've been charged with a crime and then the case gets dismissed because you did some community service or whatever, right? And if they say that hey, the case is being dismissed for so and so reason, it is dismissal as per the criminal law in that state that can be expunged. But as per the immigration rules, you still have to disclose it. And since you had to do something to get the case dismissed, which is here in this case, maybe you had to go through take some courses, or maybe you had to do some community service, right? So it will not be considered as regular dismissal as per the immigration rules. So you have to be very careful with that.
Understood. Okay. And the other thing is like many people are traveling without proper payroll, just like they're taking the letter, like they got a job and an offer letter, and people are traveling and they are super worried because they are considering as unpaid internships. So will it be a problem?
Yes. So let me put this way. Although the immigration rules state that you could be an unpaid intern while on initial OPT, right? The job duties that you perform dictate whether the internship is actually qualified as unpaid internship or not. This is dictated by the Fair Labor Standards Act. You could actually look up this. I think it's fact sheet 62. Let me just check it. FLSA fact sheet. Give me 1 second. I'll give you the exact fact sheet. FLSA fact sheet. I think it's 62. Give me 1 second. No. Give me 1 second. Yeah. So like I want you to go and Google FLSA fact sheet 71.
FLSA fact sheet
71. Okay. So there is a 7-part test that is dictated by the Department of Labor, which confirms whether an internship can be qualified as unpaid or not.
Understood.
Right? So based on your job duties, they will decide whether the internship that you actually worked, even though you did not get paid, whether if it qualifies for unpaid internship or not. If it does not get qualified for unpaid internship, then that work that you did is invalid. That's a violation, actually.
Understood.
Okay, so the best
not
thing is
everything is valid.
Not a straightforward thing. No.
Okay.
No. You got to look at both immigration as well as employment law side.
Understood.
A lot of people fail to do that one, and that's when they get into all these trouble.
Right. Understood. And the most untapped in the recent times, because it has changed. There is no requirement of client letters, right?
Good.
Is it going to
right now
restart?
You're right. In the last 3 years, we've been lucky without even showing that you have a project, without even showing the right of control, without even showing that MSA, PO, and all that stuff. We've been getting straight 3-year approval.
Right.
Right? And as long as you can show that the person qualifies as specialty occupation, you're able to get the 3-year. But the H1B modernization rules could go into effect at any time.
Like before Trump taking over?
So it not after, because it's not something to do with Trump itself.
Okay.
It's already been drafted, and I'm sure Trump is going to make it a little more strict with this administration, right? But again, it's so they might be able to redefine the definition of specialty occupation, right of control, of course. So these two things will, and availability of work, whether you not to prove that it's a bona fide job that you have.
Understood.
Right. So then if that all these happen, then they may also cut short the duration of the H1B period for the approval.
Right, because we remember people getting 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 years.
6 months,
right.
1 year. That was especially only until the duration of the purchase order.
Exactly, because client letters they do not give until 3 years; they give for only 6 months.
May happen, but it's not guaranteed. Like we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
Okay, I want you guys to be prepared. But as long as you have a proper job and if you're working, not validating the status, I don't want you to be much worried about it.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Again, there could be some good things coming also, right? Because now they want to incentivize people with high skill set, and most of the individuals who are here on F1 or H1 are people with this high skill set.
Understand. Right? While we are talking about high skill set, we have two different kinds of visas which are popular for self-petition, O1 and EB1A. So until probably last month, I have been hearing that many people are getting good chances of approvals with decent documentation. But recently, I'm hearing that they're getting RFPs to submit more evidences, even for these kind of people with a lot of publications, a lot of journals, a lot of conferences under specialty category. So do you say that there will be more and strict enforcement is going to happen here? Because nowadays, not only attorneys, everyone is talking about that. Everyone is making it consulting, right? I will help you for your EB1A. I will help you for your O1. People are talking that, and people are actually trying to help their clients, and they are not actual immigration attorneys. So probably government might look at it. I just want to hear from you.
Stay away from these people. Okay, I'll tell you what's happening. Okay, because somebody reached out to me regarding that, and I said like never ever, I would not encourage such things. So these people are helping individuals come up with their profile so that they can submit a good case for EB1A or whatever. Right? Unfortunately, there are individuals who are actually creating stuff. Right? And that is fraud. And if you're charged with fraud or misrepresentation, then you could be barred forever. Right. So I highly recommend that you do not work with such individuals who actually create documentation. That's not right. They can actually, like, so if you want to present your case in a proper way, then with whatever qualifications that you have to persuasively write a statement explaining why you qualify for this one.
Right.
But creating new documentation.
Understood.
Okay. But again, I believe that with President-elect Trump, once he's in the office, since he mentioned that he wants to give more green cards to those high-skilled workers and people with a master's degree, right? Maybe they will come up with different options similar to EB1A or EB1B or EB1C, like most probably EB1A, that would allow them to apply for a green card within the US.
Understood. And right now, I think it is 1 or 1.5 year delay. Probably if more people get into that, probably even EB1A might be just like another EB2 or EB3.
Yeah, but again, they may be reallocating the visa numbers.
Visa numbers.
Right?
Okay.
So, and then okay, if there is one who wants to sponsor green card for their parents or siblings, any citizen who is
Mhm.
in the, I highly recommend that you apply for it immediately. Those people
Understood.
be very cautious. Go ahead and apply for I-130 immediately, ASAP.
Okay. I-130, can you please tell us a
Yes.
little more into that?
I-130 is an immigrant visa petition for family based. It's similar to I-140 for I-1
Okay.
employment based.
Okay. Okay.
Right? So if you're a US citizen and if you want to sponsor somebody, do it immediately.
Do it immediately.
You want to sponsor your parents, spouse, and minor children should not be a problem.
Right.
But if you're trying to sponsor your siblings or parents, please do that immediately. Do not wait any longer.
Understood.
Yeah, because you never know what decision they may make.
Right. Right. Right.
Right? This is on again. This may not happen, but what I'm thinking, whatever I'm saying, is only based on the election promises.
Election promises. Correct.
So those people, I would suggest, like, they have to be more proactive. The typical F1 visa holders, H1B, you don't have too much to worry unless you're violating your status.
Understood. And another question, apart from H1Bs, H4EADs. People are literally panicking on this topic. And without two people income, it's really tough for many of the non-immigrants here in this country. So people build their dream homes, whatnot, depending upon that. So what are you expecting on this, on H4EAD?
That we might face. So that's why I've been advising everybody, those who are in H4EAD, to at least go through the H1B cap process, get an H1B approval. Okay, later on they can change to H4EAD so that they can always go back and revive their external H1B.
Understood.
Right? Because when it comes to H4EAD, because now they have Congress,
Right. Right.
essential power, everything. Never know.
You never know. Correct.
Maybe they could do it as an executive this thing, or maybe they can pass a legislative, whatever.
Right. Because they
Okay.
have majority. So if they
Now
want
it's
to
majority in
do
everything. So
something, they can do.
if they want to, they can do it.
Right.
Would they really do it? I'm not sure, but there is a chance.
There is a chance.
There
Okay.
is a chance.
Okay.
Okay. That's why I highly recommend that even when you're on H4EAD, get an H1B so that once you pass through, like once you get your cap selected in lottery, and then once you get the approval and all that stuff, at least you can always go back to H1B if needed.
Right. Understood. It's better to be on the safer side.
Just to be on the safe side. Yeah, I've been advising the same for years now, since the first time they had the lawsuit.
Right.
Whether they win it now or at later point of time, at least that will give a safe harbor.
Understood. This is something really concerning to many of us.
I completely understand that. Actually, there are a lot of individuals on H4 who have big companies, who started their companies on H4. They have like hundreds of H1B workers. They're entrepreneurs, right? So definitely there will be options available for these people, may or the other. So, but I'll be a little more cautious when it comes to H4EAD, just to be on the safe side, because that's like your complete livelihood, right? 1% income is,
Let's see. We cannot talk more on this, I guess.
Yes.
And coming to H1B wages, in the previous term, Trump proposed a high increase in the wages.
Yes.
Are they going to enforce now? Are they going to bring that?
Chance that they will be enforcing higher wages for two reasons. One is to protect the US workers, because there is a notion that H1B workers are the ones decreasing the wage levels. So that because the even in the initial 4-year rule, right? So they did have certain things in place where they actually increase the wage level, and of course things change after that, I again, but there is a good chance that they will increase the wage levels.
Okay.
Okay, and they want to make sure that the H1Bs are available for more for high tech workers.
Understood. And
Like,
do you have an?
I would not say that they will have a fixed wage as like a lot of people are saying, because the wages for a position depend upon the work location and the type of job that they are performing.
Mhm.
Okay, so you cannot say that a civil engineer has to get 120K or
Right.
140K eventually H1B.
Right.
You're able to say that for a software engineer, but you cannot say the same thing for civil engineer.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That does not mean that civil engineering individuals should not be getting H1B,
Right.
right? It's specialty
Right.
work, right?
Even I think even currently, depending upon the type of occupation, depending
Yes.
upon the county, wage levels
Wage levels
differ.
change, and but a lot of people are saying that hey, in order to get H1B, you have to make at least 180K, 200K, whatever, right? Those things will happen. So I don't want you to be
Right.
worried about that one.
Right. 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 And coming to business owners, what kind of uh, impacts or issues they are going to face, who are especially in consulting business, because in Indian community, a lot of people own consulting businesses here. So, what kind of measures they have to take care?
So, so I like as you all know, right? With the Dodge program, a lot of federal government work
Mm-hmm.
could be cut down. So
Okay.
those people could be affected, but we don't know how it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe they want to make it a little more efficient or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is there could be a lot of site visits.
Site
Okay,
visits.
because
Mm-hmm.
Trump wants to make sure that everybody follows the law,
Mm-hmm.
right? So we could be expecting more site visits,
Mm-hmm.
but if the administration will be pro business, I don't see
Mm-hmm.
um, a reason why you should be too much scared.
Right. Right. And there are some speculations like Trump administration will remove premium processing for many categories.
No,
They do not? Okay.
they
Okay.
don't really care about premium processing is based on the availability of workforce to
Mm-hmm.
review the petitions,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
The government does not have any incentive in
Mm-hmm.
removing premium processing if they're able to really get the work done during that period of time.
Mm-hmm.
They make more money by having premium processing.
Understood. Yeah.
So
It's bringing them a lot of
this is
revenue at this moment.
the removal of premium processing.
Right. Right. And there is
But if it's
also,
not possible, I highly recommend get your file your H1B extensions ASAP, get them approved for the next 3 years, get your visas, keep everything ready. In that way, you don't have to at least worry, especially those who are on EADs.
EADs.
If somebody has a spouse who is on H4 EAD, I highly recommend you apply for your H1, H4, H4 EAD, get it for 3 years because they cannot remove existing H4 EAD usually.
Oh, they cannot remove existing ones.
Because, yeah, that's like taking over the property.
Right. 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 Right.
Right? So they may say that they may not issue future ones, but now once you get it for 3 more years, you're at least safeguarded for that
Oh.
time.
But right
Okay.
now, even for H4 EADs, there is no premium processing, right? Let's say if the application is under review.
If you're applying for H1
Mm-hmm.
extension,
Mm-hmm.
or you can apply for H1B amendment plus extension,
Mm-hmm.
that you can do under premium processing.
Mm-hmm.
Along with that, you can apply for H4 and H4 EAD, get it approved for 3 years, so at least you don't have to worry about these 3 years.
Understood. 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 Okay.
Okay. So
So you
again,
prefer
that
amendment
might happen, but just to be on the safe side.
to be on safer side.
Yeah.
I got it. I got it. So even if the application is in process, let's say we are not near to any amendment, we are not near to any extension. If we apply H4 and H4 EAD now, by the time Trump administration comes, it will be still in process
It's something that you file whenever there is a change
in the
in,
role
right?
or anything. Right.
Right? So I assume that your employer wants to give you a different salary or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, you can use it to file an amendment
An amendment.
plus
Right.
extension. So
Understood.
you get the for 3 years.
Understood. Understood. Okay, there are a lot of things that are going to come, and we have to
Uh, But I highly recommend that you, everybody, please try not to violate the US laws in any way, and also do not apply for any public benefit that, even if it's right, even if they, even if you consider, like, even if it may not be considered as public charge right now, you never know. They might consider it that as a public charge in the future. So try to avoid taking any public benefit that you have not paid for,
Mm,
right? And also, try not, like, you should not get involved in any sort of criminal activities.
mhm.
Okay, and be very careful when you're using your resumes. Make sure there is no inconsistencies between your resume, your online profiles, your LinkedIn account, and all that stuff, because they may be checking everything.
Right.
Okay, I'm definitely sure the administration is going to spend more time and have more resources on the immigration side.
Understood. And let's say if some people already took some benefits from the government, let it be a refund or check from solar panels. Let it be
Those are
during
not.
COVID, many
That
people
is fine.
received checks.
Those
That is
kind of
fine.
things should be fine. No, no, those kind of things should be fine.
Okay, okay. And even the COVID checks during COVID, a
Yeah,
lot of people received checks.
those are fine.
Those things are fine.
Those
Okay.
fine. It's not like they apply like for a public benefit. They
Hmm.
don't apply for food stamps or something like that.
Understood. Understood.
Yeah, COVID checks are fine,
Hmm.
and then also, yeah, those things should be fine.
Understood.
Yeah.
And
Also, somebody was asking me, how about if I take short-term disability or long-term disability? Those are all fine because you are actually paying for it.
right, right, right.
Yeah.
And I think I pretty much covered all the important topics. Do you think if I missed any?
Yeah. And if do you want to go through any questions really quick? I think a lot of people have been posting some questions. I,
Well,
yeah, and also try not to apply for bankruptcy and all those things.
okay,
Oh,
okay.
yes, the other thing, main important thing I forgot to, I always forget to, please make sure to take high car insurance. Do not go with the state minimum.
Mm, mm, mm,
Okay, because I have been seeing a lot of individuals, they just go for the state minimum.
mhm.
The difference between state minimum and the maximum limit is maybe 30, 40, $50, but I highly recommend that you get at least $500,000 insurance minimum.
Mhm.
Okay, because if you get like $100,000 or whatever the state minimum required, and if something were to go wrong, then you'd be held liable for that.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't want anyone to go for bankruptcy and all that stuff uh, because of this reason.
Mhm. And these kind of lawsuits, every time, I think it's a scam. Many people intentionally do that. In case of accident, they intentionally sue the other person or send a big bill. Okay. And
But
nowadays, most people are ignoring to pay that, although they are getting lawyer notices. So what happens if they do not pay?
okay, so what happens is if they don't pay, and if the lawyer goes and files a case in the court, and if you do not respond to that lawsuit, then there could be a default judgment against you.
Hmm. Understood.
Okay, if there is a default judgment, then they can always come back after your assets,
Okay.
right? And if you're working, they can put a lien on your paycheck, whatever, right? So
Understood.
I highly recommend you be very careful, especially just make sure to get proper insurance.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And here there is one more case. Um, People, what they do is like after a violation, once they get that lawyer notice, sometimes they completely try to negotiate. It goes to collections and they try to negotiate from there, right? Does it going to affect them?
I highly recommend that you negotiate initially itself. For example, if you receive a demand letter from an attorney saying that, hey, you owe my client so much, right? They typically want to settle the matter,
Settle the matter. Okay.
right? So I highly recommend that you settle the matter in the initial phase, because the longer that this settlement takes, the more amount of time the attorney has to spend, and they'll be expecting more money.
Okay. And there is another case, if the other party do not have insurance, attorneys are not taking up cases because he do not have insurance, they cannot bring any money.
Because they cannot go after the other, even if they go after the other individual, he may not even have any money, right?
Exactly.
But what happens is they might be able to still get the default judgment against them and try to chase them years after.
Years after.
So if you're on the other side, you have to be very careful.
Understood. All right. I think we pretty much covered everything. Let me know if we miss anything. We can cover it before we leave.
I'm missing, please send me an email. Actually, I will be traveling to India this week, so I may not be able to get back to each one of your emails on time, but I'll definitely reply to them as and when I get a chance. But I wish you all the best. Happy holidays to everybody, and happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Thank you for taking your time. Before you leave, I just want to ask this again. You said that there is FLCA or FCLA something?
FLSA.
FLSA.
Fair Labor Standards Act.
Okay.
FLSA Fact Sheet 71.
Fact Sheet 71. Okay.
Read that one.
Thank you.
And that provides you with more information regarding the unpaid internship.
Understood. All right. Thank you, Santosh Garu. Thank you for your time.
And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Ravi.
All right. Thanks. Yeah. Bye. Take care.